appreciate you helping to get the word out about our concerns and where we are in regards to the takeover of Raleigh Egypt High School and other schools. Okay. Now, let me start by saying this. We've been in conversation with the Department of Education, Commissioner Huffman, Achievement School District Superintendent Chris Barbic, Shelby County Schools Superintendent Dorsey Hopson, our School Board Commissioner Stephanie Love, and in attendance this morning. And those conversations have been positive, and I'm cautiously optimistic that we're all going to come to some resolution as to what is the best fit for intervention in regards to to our schools that we're talking about. We have with us, as you can see, members of our community, from everyone from parents to clergy and students and others. There's a lot of pride in this community. You know, Raleigh Egypt is a centerpiece for this community, and we believe in the leadership that has been put in place here at Raleigh Egypt High School to move Raleigh Egypt High School forward. Some of the things that have been happening, a lot of things have been happening under the current that have been outside of media view in regards to how we're attacking problems, or some of the problems that we've had in the past here at Raleigh Egypt High School. We all understand it, and we make no mistake about the fact that there have been some challenges, some academic challenges, behavioral challenges in the past at Raleigh Egypt High School. But it's a new day. Raleigh Egypt High School now, under the leadership of Principal Bo Griffin, the middle school under the leadership of Principal Ronnie Mackin, the elementary school under the leadership of Principal Deanna Pruitt. They're working in a synergized effort to not only feed into the high school, but also to develop and create the best product possible academically coming out of this cluster, out of this campus, period. Now, although we are talking about Raleigh Egypt High School, this is not just about Raleigh Egypt High School. There are other schools that are in similar patterns that we're addressing also with this press conference. Now, it's also important to know that the purpose of this press conference is for us to request that both Superintendent Dorsey Hopson, Superintendent Chris Barbic, and the Department of Education, and Green Dot, members of Green Dot as well, come back together and consider another option under the law as an intervention for Raleigh Egypt High School and some of our other schools that are in concern also. There's a movement taking place right now in our community, and our communities want to have control and the power to decide how our children are educated. And just as the municipalities did a couple of years ago in deciding how their children were going to be educated, we want to make sure that we have the say in how our children are being educated also. Now, with that being said, the main thing I want the media to walk away with is that we are requesting that the superintendents, both Hopson and Chris Barbic, grant Raleigh Egypt High School and other schools I-zone status. And we want them to know that this community and our community is not just in Raleigh, but in Frayser and North Memphis. We support the direction of the intervention of Shelby County Schools. We also want you to take away from this that the I-zone schools are doing exceedingly well in performance, and so that measure, whatever that formula is, we want that formula applied to some of these other schools also. And with that being said, I'm going to let our School Board Commissioner Stephanie Love speak, and then we'll have two of our pastors to speak. So, Commissioner Love.
I stand before my community today to let them know that I am in support of them. I believe in our schools. I believe that Shelby County Schools can and will make a difference in our community. I am requesting for Green Dot, Cornerstone Prep, and Libertas to give us an opportunity to turn our schools around. I am requesting that Shelby County Schools allow those 4 schools to be turned into I-zone schools or I-zone status. I believe in our schools, I believe in our community, I believe in these children. Our children, we have an option, and our option is the I-zone status. So that is what I am requesting today, and I stand before each and every one to let you know that I'm committed to making sure all of our schools in Shelby County succeed.
And keep in mind also, as you can see by the people who are here, this is not Shelby County School Board's Commissioner Stephanie Love initiative. It's not a State Representative Antonio Parkinson initiative. This is a community-wide initiative to ensure the best education and the best education opportunity for our children here in the Raleigh and Frayser, North Memphis community. With that, I'll introduce Dr. Sammy Holloway, pastor of Breath of Life Christian Center. I think they got them all.
I'm here to represent the community members that attend our church. We want to make sure that all of our members and their families know exactly what's going on. We do not want to see this thing get commercialized and money be put ahead of our children. That's been happening too long in our city and in our community. So now we're looking for the children to be put first in everything and every decision that is made. We want everybody to know we're going to be watching all the leaders, for everybody who has a part, especially those who are elected, to see what they really have in mind as they make these decisions moving forward.
Thank you, Pastor Albert. Pastor Elliott Shelton out of Frayser with Promised Land Church.
I just want to say to each and every one of y'all, I want all the parents to understand that you matter in the community. Let your voice be heard. Allow your children to understand that they need to go to school in an environment where they can learn. And we also want to know that everyone to know that this is not business. This is not just business for us. We got to understand that this is personal. This is about our children and our youth that are the future of our city, our wonderful city of Memphis, Tennessee. So we want to make sure that every voice is heard and every parent is heard and every child gets an education that is second to none.
A couple of last points. Here at Raleigh Egypt High School, we've had tremendous gains in the last few years in some areas. I want to say in English, algebra, or I think it's Algebra 1, I'm sure, or Algebra 2. And American history. We had great gains. So let's talk about the data. The data, we're on the cusp of actually coming off the list. So, those gains have been great. Also, the corporate support. There's been a change in the corporate support. The corporate support is now here for these schools, not just Egypt, but for Craigmont. We've worked hard to do that. The principals at all three of the schools are working together in an unprecedented manner, to the point that students from the high school are now tutoring students from the middle school, students from the elementary. The principals are meeting weekly to ensure that things are going in the direction that we want them to go. The teachers are excited. They've bought into the vision of the new leaders here. So this intervention that Shelby County Schools did prior to the decision being made with the Achievement School District, the intervention is working. And that's all we're asking. Let's continue this intervention. Let's continue to let this thing work. Let's give them a couple of years. We're asking Shelby County Schools and Achievement School District, if you want to set benchmarks, achievable benchmarks, set the benchmarks. If for some reason we don't reach those benchmarks in those 2 or 3 years that you give us, then by all means, do what you need to do. But give the new leadership here at Raleigh Egypt High School, Raleigh Egypt Middle School, Raleigh Egypt Elementary, and some of these other schools the opportunity to, at a minimum, prove themselves. And the resources. To prove themselves. So at this time, we'll open up for questions.
Well, what is your...
Anybody? I'm sorry. Anybody else? Okay.
What is, I guess, your issue with an outsider come in?
My issue is this. My issue is not so much an issue with the outsider as much as it is, we have 3 opportunities under the law of interventions that we can use. The best one to use right now is the I-zone model. The I-zone model is working. And we like the fact that the I-zone model is working, so we want the I-zone model here.
Why didn't they decide that, I wonder? Like, what made them decide Achievement School?
Well, I can't answer
dollars.
What?
Money. I can't talk.
What is it?
Money. Drives all of this. Race to the top money.
So, you know, but our goal is to request that they utilize the Eyes On model for these schools.
And the thing, no, I was saying the thing is, decisions are being made behind closed doors about our children in our community. We are not brought to the table until they have already made a decision. We need to be respected. Our children need to be respected.
Yes.
We're not going to be comfortable with anybody coming into our community when they have no respect for us. If you want what's in the best interest of our children, then you need to come talk to us.
Roger that. Got it.
What's the timetable? When is the decision time?
Well, you know, decisions are already being made, as you heard, but you know, there is the way I look at it is this: the way we look at it, until the keys change hands, there's really no decision.
And is it an uphill fight? Are the odds against you right now?
Well, you know, I always consider myself the underdog. If I didn't, I'd be a little bit too confident. So, yeah, you know, we you know, this is and it's not so much of a fight as much as it is that the parties need to come together and have a conversation that's focused on the children.
For the other people that did speak besides yourself, do you mind spelling your first and last name and what churches you guys represent in the area? If you get close to him so we can get the microphone.
Elliot Shelton, S-H-E-L-T-O-N, and that's Promised Land Church, Memphis, Tennessee.
How do you spell Elliot?
E-L-L-I-O-T.
Sammy Holloway, S-A-M-M-I-E, H-O-L-L-O-W-A-Y, pastor of Breath of Life Christian Center here in Raleigh.
Stephanie Love, I attend a church in Raleigh, Christ in You Faith Temple, under the leadership of Pastor Tommy McBride.
But she's also school board.
Right. Yeah, give me that title.
School board commissioner for District 3.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody good?
We're good.
Thank you guys. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
We really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Who's my brother?
I got you got one of mine.